I think McFarlane figures are getting better. You got to remember, they're in their infancy. They just started 2 years ago. A lot of hiccups in the line, a lot of stuff people didn't like. But I got to say, this guy, the Soul Crusher, is a really good figure. Now, you might not believe that because McFarlane gets a bad rap, but I think this figure is doing a lot of things right. It's doing a lot of things that they should keep doing, which they're not, because I just saw some figures and they're doing the same old shit. But the stuff they get right, and the stuff they don't, they don't. I think giving them more time, letting them flesh out the line, letting them figure out the articulation, letting them figure shit out would benefit everybody. If you remember, a lot of us have not been collecting that long. There was a dark day for Hasbro. Hasbro had dark days. They didn't come out the gate swinging. They had some terrible figures. They were using a mold that was really old, and they used it for a long time. I don't think you can strictly judge McFarlane based on figures you've owned. I think you should get more. You should look at more brands, more lines that he makes. This is from the Spawn stuff he's been making, and a lot of the Spawn stuff is really good. The DC stuff is hit or miss, I will admit. But this guy does some things that are particularly good. I'm going to zoom in and show you what I'm talking about. Firstly, these ankles are next level for McFarlane. If you can see them, I am too far zoomed in. If you can see them, that you really can't even tell the ankle's there, because usually he does a ball joint at the ankle and it's really loose and it's a mess. On these ones, this one and newer figures, he's sculpting the ball joint to look like the boot. So you see that right there. I'm going to twist it. Now you see the ball joint. It's really hidden in there. It's good. It's not loose, not floppy. The figure stands really good. Really good off the rip. No, there's nothing around it. It stands really good. And it just looks amazing. It looks really good. This guy poses fairly nice. The only thing he would be missing is thigh cuts, but he really just doesn't even need it, to be honest. This figure poses really good. Like, I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it and lie to you or none of that. And it took me a while to like McFarlane. I had been on a McFarlane shit train this whole time. I just been like, McFarlane sucks, McFarlane sucks. I'll buy them mostly on clearance. If I can find one for like $10, those are when they're the best. Honestly, I'm telling you, these figures are great. Let them live, let them breathe. I know it sucks because they're the only ones making DC figures, but let them live. Just let them breathe and let the line go, and then we'll see where it is in a couple years from now. Because I think they're making the right steps. I think they're making the right steps forward. I know it's tough because a lot of people say they suck. You get on YouTube and you type in McFarlane. Some of the first videos you see is McFarlane figures suck. Here's why, blah, blah, blah. Just get some in hand, and don't just get DC ones. Get the Spawn stuff. Get the whatever other stuff he makes, the My Hero stuff. I have some My Hero figures that are really great and some that are really not. It just really depends on the figure. So I say get it. If you can find it on clearance somewhere, Amazon puts them on sale a lot. They're really good figures. Even this one. Let me break this figure out. Hold on. This is a McFarlane Warhammer line here. Now, these figures I was staying away from. I don't know anything about Warhammer. My homie Hot as Fuzz Customs got them and was telling us how great these figures are. I bought one, and these figures are honestly really good. Like, it's a really good figure. It has articulation you wouldn't expect out of a figure this size. Like, just even in that, like toe joint, got their ankle rocker, ankle joint in there. Big clunky ankle joint too. So this figure, once he's down, he's down. Like, once he's down, he's down. This figure is solid. Like, it's a thick boy right here. I weathered this one just to see how it would look. And I gotta say, it looks awesome. This figure, it really blew me away. It made me want to collect more of them, but I hold off because I don't know anything about Warhammer, and I don't need 40 of these, and I don't know much about the line, you know? But it's a good looking figure nonetheless. It's an amazing figure. Even out the package, if you don't want to weather it, it's honestly great. Like, it'll do a kneeling pose and everything. My boy Fuzz modded them to do way more than I'm doing. But these are really good figures. So like I said, McFarlane figures, I think if you just give them time and you get the right ones and you mess with the right ones, I think they'll change your mind, honestly. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of comments like, oh, no, I'll do this and I'll do that. And McFarlane figures are this and they're that. Just give them a chance. That's all I'm saying. Give them a chance. Test something out. These are two totally different lines. I don't know much about Spawn. I don't know anything about Warhammer, but these figures are great. If you don't like this as a Space Marine, you can cut all this stuff off, swap the head. This pops off, flies across the room. That pops off. You can pop this one off too. You could paint all of this, cut these off, swap, whatever you want to do. Same thing here. You could swap everything on this figure, and you could use it as a base for something else. I know people who use Mcfarlane figures as bases for other customs. Anything. All of this stuff is swappable, it's poppable, it comes off everything. These figures, telling you, get some in your hand that are different than what you're used to. Stop just going to DC and looking at everything they do. Mcfarlane makes a lot of lines, and he's making the Avatar stuff. If you haven't seen it, he's making Avatar for the new movie, and he made 2 of the dragons, and they look fucking amazing. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you collect these in the comments. If you don't, and why don't you? And why, if you don't try the different lines, why not?